Hey everybody, my name is Tony and I own Celebrated Summer Records in Baltimore, Maryland for the last 16 years. And if you are a local or kind of from the DC, Virginia, even Delaware area, you may have been in our store or heard of us, but if you're from further afield than that, maybe not. And one of the reasons is I don't have a website. And another is I don't do mail order. And another is we don't have a Discogs page. And I also don't sell things on eBay. So we have an Instagram page, though, which is just Celebrated Summer Records, and you can follow us there. But to say that our social media imprint is pretty narrow is definitely an understatement. My friend Mike has a really cool YouTube channel called Analog Attack, and he's had me on a few times, and I really enjoy watching it. And there's another great one called Noble Records, which is another record store, and he has a pretty great YouTube channel, and I really enjoy watching those, and I thought it might be fun to do some videos myself, and that it might, put the word of the store out there a little bit more than I had been doing. So, with that said, I felt like the first video should have literally nothing to do with the store at all. I'm a huge fan of Gimmick Records, or novelty records, or fake bands. Like, I really love all of those things. So, I felt like it might be fun to pull out a bunch of those records. I played a bunch of them, and then maybe we could talk about them. Okay? First up, America's Funny Man, Neil Hamburger, and his 45, which is a tribute to Diana, Princess of Wales, which we have here. There we go. A little bit of a glare. And the track is A Moment of Silence for Diana, Princess of Wales. As you might guess, there's nothing on that track. It is total silence, which is great. No grooves, no nothing. Just contemplate the life and unfortunate passing of Diana, Princess of Wales. And when you're doing it, each record comes with a tissue so that you can dry your tears. So if you find one of these in the wild somewhere, make sure it still has the tissue with it, so you're not getting ripped off. Tribute to Diana, Princess of Wales, Moment of Silence. All right. Next up, if you're a punk or hardcore fan, you might be familiar with 7 Seconds, incredible band. Here we have Society's Ills, who have just taken the cover to 7 Seconds classic Skins, Brains, and Guts EP and pasted their own band name on top of it. And in addition to that, this record is just a exact cover of the original 7 Seconds record. They just play all the songs in order, pretty much exactly like the original 7 Seconds record. All they've done here is paste their name over the original 7 Seconds logo on the front. And on the back, also this cover is identical, except they've pasted their names over top of the original players and the record label here. The thing that's interesting about this is the band itself that's decided to pay this tribute is made up of Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth, Mike Watt of Firehose and Minutemen, Dave Markey of Painted Willie, and also noted filmmaker, he did Reality 86, and Dez from Black Flag. Basically put together kind of like a super group just purely to cover the 7 Seconds record, fake band, and yeah, just took the artwork and pasted their own names over it. I absolutely love that this is a thing. So, worthwhile if you're a Sonic Youth fan or a 7 Seconds fan. Speaking of fake hardcore bands, if you're a Saturday Night Live fan or a Fred Armisen fan, you may have seen the band reunion at the wedding sketch, which was incredible. The band, Crisis of Conformity. And what you might have missed is they actually pressed a 7-inch of that song. Drag City Records released it a number of years ago. I think it's unfortunately out of print at the moment, but you get the song from the SNL skit, and then there's a B-side, Kick It Down, Kick It Around, which is unreleased. Unlike the skit itself, I'm pretty sure that Fred Armisen played all the instruments on this. I don't think Dave Grohl is playing drums on this. I could be wrong, but I think it's just Fred on this. So yeah. Anyway, and I think maybe somebody will have to say so in the comments, but other than the Blues Brothers, I think this might be the only SNL skit that actually got a vinyl release for like a fake band. So I could be wrong, but Blues Brothers and now Crisis of Conformity, incredible, absolutely fake band. All right. Man or Astroman, or a 90s surf rock band that purported to be from outer space. A very serious, like, incredible sounding band, but still a gimmick in that they pretended to be aliens. Lesser known, the drummer had a side project, which was also a gimmick kind of style band, called Servotron, and instead of just pretending to be from outer space, Servotron pretended to be robots on a mission to murder all humans and enslave them on Earth. They put out a startling amount of 45s and records, all with like incredible artwork, mostly by that artist Shag. But yeah, so we have some really fun ones here. On this cover, the Servotron robots murdering some humans by electrocution. Oh, on this one, murdering some humans by hanging them. On this one, it looks like a sigh to decapitate some happy human children. And there's more singles than that. I have them here somewhere, but there's also an LP that was on Lookout Records called No Room for Humans. And we have here a perfect robot paradise, but a pile of burning humans in the corner. Servotron is pretty incredible musically. Basically sounds like Devo, like heavy synth, kind of catchy synth punk. But again, every lyric on every song is about murdering and enslaving humans. So, pretty fun, actually. Oh, continuing the fun. If you're a child of the 80s or 70s, like myself, living under the specter of nuclear war breaking out at any minute, for me especially, watching Threads or any of the shock television shows of the 80s, this record is Third World War with the original cast. This one's a favorite of mine because I love the effort that went into it, much like the Diana, Princess of Wales, but having nothing on it. This record, Third World War, when you put the needle on, it's basically the sound of a nuclear explosion for about 8 seconds, and then the entire rest of the side is silent, and the flip side is also completely silent. So basically, this record is just a, political statement, but also kind of a gimmick record. And there's some quotes here on the back from reviewers, record reviewers. Devastating, the absolute last word in albums. No one will ever be able to follow this one, and on and on and on. So yeah, what we basically have is one track that is about 10 seconds long, roughly, and then a completely blank record for the rest of it. So I really enjoy this kind of effort that was put into, basically a political statement. I don't know how many people would have heard it or actually purchased that at the time, so who knows. Jumping around a little bit, I'm also a huge fan of tribute bands, and so anyway, gimmick bands and tribute bands. And when you can combine those two things together, I really love it. So Nick Lowe, who I'm a huge fan of, had I think he was bullied kind of into doing this by his label early on, but basically it is a fake band called the Tartan Horde. Nick Lowe's not actually credited on these singles, although I believe that these songs were later released on some records under his own name. But at the time, it's the Tartan Horde. Nick Lowe's name's not on anything. And these records are both, again, a fake band, but also a tribute to the Bay City Rollers, who I also love. And we have here, the A-side is Rollers Show, and the B-side is Tartan Horde. And with one of my favorite record covers here, we got a really great kind of cartoonish version of a band that does not exist at all. Cover, playing songs in tribute to the Bay City Rollers. So yeah, Nick Lowe, the Tartan Horde, tribute to the Bay City Rollers. And there's actually a second single as well. It says that it's a split with the Disco Bros. I do not know who that is, but on their side, we get Bay City Rollers, We Love You, which is an incredible song, and then another version of Rollers Show. This one we have some people here who are likely not in this band, probably just posing out to pretend to be the band, since I believe the band is basically Nick Lowe. So yeah, a gimmick and a tribute in one. If you're also old like me, you might remember Funny Faces mugs. And if you're not, you'll just think I'm a crazy person for mentioning something like that. They had delicious kind of like Kool-Aid drinks, but you could buy pitchers and mugs that had the various cartoon characters on them. One of which, my favorite of which, is Goofy Grape. And here we have Goofy Grape Sings Awful. Basically Goofy Grape's solo album. It is pretty brutal. It is on YouTube, so go check it out. But you can't go wrong with any kind of like cereal or drink mascots making a record. That's basically right up my alley. I love it. Goofy Grape is my favorite. So check this one out on YouTube. Oh, kind of bringing it a little bit more into the modern times. This is one of my favorite, I guess this is like really, it's a fake band and it's also a mashup, kind of like in the same vein as like Wugazi, like those people that took Wu-Tang Clan songs and Fugazi songs and basically put them together. In this case, some people took the vocals of Bob Marley and laid them over some either, here's the thing, I don't know. What I'll say is this record sounds incredible and it sounds accurate. It sounds like literally like Bob Marley singing for the Ramones. I do not know exactly how they did it. I don't know if they cut and pasted Ramones' actual songs and then cut Bob Marley vocals and laid them on top of them. I don't know. But what I do know is it is definitely Bob Marley's actual stolen vocals laid onto Ramones-styled songs, and somebody is eventually going to get sued. Anyway, so we have here is Bobby Ramone. And in addition to making this musical, two things come together. They've also taken Dee Dee here and then just put Bob Marley's face right in there. So I feel like if more people knew about this, this would possibly be a lawsuit waiting to happen. But as it is, you can still basically buy these records, and they are incredible. It sounds like it would just be a gimmick, but it sounds awesome. It is very, very listenable and much more well done than I can describe to you. You can find it on YouTube, so if you feel like checking it out, you can check it out. All right. That's basically everything for this time. Those are some of my favorite gimmick and kind of fake band records. I'll probably split this channel up between doing random walkthroughs of like stuff from my record collection and then maybe things that have come into the store, some videos that are maybe a little more focused on the store itself. If you have questions about the store or why I'm such an idiot that doesn't sell things online, you can put them in the comments And the next time I do a video, I'll answer them. All right, thanks for hanging out for a little bit, and I'll have another video soon. Take care.